Hello guys, welcome to a new pond update. This is based on my small oasis pond. That's what I've named it. I'm basically ripping out the old waterfall because it was leaking and we're rebuilding it. So obviously you can see I've got my pond behind me there, and obviously we've got our waterfall system over there. And I'll just show you what I've done in the past couple of days. We're getting there. This is almost finished. It's a pain in the butt having to rip out a waterfall, especially with large rocks that weigh at least 30 kilograms. So I just thought I'd say hello, show you what I've been up to, and I'll see you in the next update. So I'm trying to renovate this waterfall system to try and figure out why it's leaking. So I've pulled back all the rocks and the stones to get an idea what's going on. We're getting a lot of splatter from the waterfall. I've just put the spillway box on the top there just to simulate the waterfall, to figure out where I'm losing water. Now while we're getting a bit of splash at the section there, I'll just point it out, it's not a major deal. However, there I think we've got a problem, where near the wall and the back of that stone. So let's just have a closer look. As you can see here, eventually we're getting water that's coming out of the actual liner into the ground. So that's where we're losing our water, around here. So, you know, as you can see, even if we put that back there and it's not exaggerated as much, you're still getting some water coming down, going around there and down and leaking on the outside of the liner. So in retrospect, what we need to do really is probably put a bit more liner down really, and I also want to make it a bit wider over there in more of a pooling area, just to make this more of a bigger stream into the little pond, as I call it, the oasis. So I'm also going to replace this spillway box because it's too small. It doesn't give that much filtration, but as you can see, they're getting quite a bit of leakage going down the sides, and all these stupid weeds are in the way. You know, that you can see their water is actually leaking into the ground. Okay, that's where we're at. We've dug it out a bit in order to put our liner more into the space we've dug out. I've dug a hole. Here's a closer look of the hole that I've dug. This is where the wetland filter was, where we had lots of gravel and some plants actually living in the gravel itself with no soil. I've dug a bigger area there for the spillway box that we've got, the aquascape one, the DIY one. That's 12 inch wide, not as wide as the 15 inch Waterfalls 1000, and it has its own spillway, so you don't have to connect a liner to it. I still need to figure out how we're going to marry that with the liner when we put it in, but I'm thinking that we're alright there to put the Waterfalls filter in there, not the Waterfalls, the DIY one, sorry. And we've expanded the hole a bit more, so just wanted to give you an idea where I'm at. And what I wanted to do is literally have the filter there, comes down there, goes over some rocks, down into there, maybe flows a little bit here, a little as well, goes back there and down into the pond. As you can see, my fish there, they're happily out and about, even though it is around 10 degrees, quite cold, but I put some food in there. If I zoom in, have a look, you can see my fish swimming about. Quite a lot of algae in there, and that's the main reason why I need to do this, to sort this out, because we've got a lot of algae in the pond. I just wanted to show you how much string algae is actually in there, and obviously I don't know if you can see at the bottom, but there's a lot there as well as on the actual pump itself. So and that's more or less why we're doing this, to sort out this issue. So hopefully this is informative. So as you can see guys, I've expanded the hole a little bit more. obviously there's a little bit area there where it obviously will go over into the pond. And now I've dug a hole here for the actual filter box. As you can see, that's more or less gives you an idea on how it will work. So obviously it'll flow from there onto a big stone that will cantilever over this area, flowing into the wetland filter, which will have gravel in, lift up over here and into the pond. So hopefully that gives you an idea on how this is designed. Okay, I've just put the underlay in the lower area as well as the higher area. There's the aquascape 12-inch spillway. We just got to put some underlay down and we'll be ready for the liner in this area. Okay, that's the liner gone in. We've shaped it roughly to how it needs to be. Obviously I need to show that a bit more. Essentially we want to overline it rather than underline it like I did before. So we should have enough here to get this waterfall set up and not leaking at all. Right guys, I just want to give you a bit of a tip really. If you're finding it really difficult to find a rock that will actually fit your pond waterfall that you're trying to build, don't be afraid of getting an angle grinder out and actually cutting the stone to size, because what we want is this to cantilever over the top of our spillway stone. Thought I'd give you a bit of an update where we're at with the pond build. Here we put the spillway stone down. We've got a framing rock to the right, and if I just peel back the liner, you can see I've built a retaining wall there, so that will retain the liner and the water will flow naturally this way. So I just wanted to show you where we're at. So let's get on with the rest of the build. So there we have the spillway set up, and as you can see, that cantilevering rock over the spillway stone looks great, and it will function really well when the water comes over and splashes down into the pond. But I just wanted to show you that. Just got to wait for a bit of cement to go off and then it'll be solid, and it looks good. Okay, so I'm just showing you what we've done here as the light fades today. But I just wanted to show you the retaining wall that I've built here. The idea of this small retaining wall is so we can pop the liner up against it and it'll keep the liner in place, and we'll put some stones against the liner as well. But this is going to be our main spillway area here, over the stone into the pond, turn round, flow down this small narrow area here that we've got here into the pond. And that's the idea of what we're doing. So let's just move over here so you can see the pond. That's the pond. We've got our goldfish in there. We look over and you can see our spillway. Let's just zoom in there so you can see that. So you can see the spillway, the retaining wall, and we will have our aquascape biofalls type DIY unit in there. So I just wanted to show you where we're at the moment. We're getting there in terms of the rebuild. So the main difference with this over the existing pond is the fact that we've extended the liner. We've had to rip out all the stone and put the liner right up against the wall there, so there's no chance of a water leak, and we'll just literally drop stones and some bark chippings on top of the actual liner and use the liner as a weed barrier as well. We've just got to tidy this up, put another spillway there that goes directly into the pond. But I just wanted to give you an idea where we're at. As we're losing light, I don't think there's anything more I can do today. I just need the cement to go off on the retaining wall, and I've put a little bit on the spillway and the two counter-leaving framing rocks that we've got there. So I hope this was a bit informative today. We'll get on with the rest of it another day, and I'll see you in the next video.